Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
And today we're going to talk about the character map for the Chinese character 蛋, which means
egg.
So the easiest word you can learn with this word is 鸡蛋. 鸡 is chicken, 蛋 egg, 鸡蛋 egg. Do you know any other meanings for 蛋?
Interestingly, in German we use this word eggs, like the German word for eggs, to refer to some male body parts that resemble eggs. And I do think that's the same in Chinese.
It is the same thing in Chinese, but today we're going to focus on more words that are related to 蛋, and some of them do have some insulting meaning. So let's check out today's episode. Okay, so we talked about the most basic word for egg, that's 鸡蛋. So 鸡蛋, that's first tone, fourth tone. So Joe, I know that you grew up in Germany. Have you ever had chickens?
We didn't have, like my parents didn't have, but my aunt had chickens.
So how many eggs do your chickens lay in a day?
If I remember correctly, it was like one for each day, or like second day or something like this, because it was like sometimes when you go in there in the morning, like, oh, maybe today, and then you're like, oh no egg today, but the next day, oh yeah.
So you can buy the lottery when you get an egg.
Yeah, it's kind of a good luck game.
Okay, so laying eggs is 下蛋. 下 is the word for down, so when you down egg, it's the verb for laying eggs.
So 下蛋.
下蛋, and that sort of makes sense, right?
So how would I say if I want to say like when I was a kid, like the chicken laid eggs?
Okay, so if your chicken laid an egg, you can say 我的鸡下蛋了. 我的鸡, my chicken, 下蛋了, verb, and then you finish off the sentence. So 我的鸡下蛋了. My chicken laid an egg.
Okay, 我的鸡下蛋了.
Yeah. Okay, so after your chicken has laid many eggs or a few eggs, you can make an omelet for sure. Do you know a very famous Chinese egg?
Oh, are you talking about the kind of weird looking greenish transparent and sometimes a little bit smelly one?
Yeah, the fermented one.
The 1,000-year-old egg?
Yes, the 1,000-year-old egg. That's 皮蛋. 皮
蛋.
蛋.
Wait, that's like leather egg, right?
Yeah, or like
Translated.
or skin. Leather egg, or like pea. Leather or skin. But it's very leathery on the outside and it's kind of black.
So it resembles leather, you mean?
Yeah. Joe, 你喜欢吃皮蛋吗?
我很喜欢.
Really? I
I love
actually
it.
know a lot of people who think it's super gross.
Yeah, most people I know think it's really gross. But actually, when my family came here, they all loved it. I don't know, maybe that's a German thing as well.
Yeah, maybe the flavors of fermented egg. It's kind of like blue cheese. Not everybody likes it.
But some love it. Same here.
Yeah. So you can say 我喜欢吃皮蛋，但是我的朋友不喜欢吃皮蛋. I mean, I like it, but my friends don't like it. So I'd probably say that.
You don't like it?
It really depends on how it's made. I've had both experiences.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on the fence about pídàn.
So what other dishes do we have? Because there are probably a lot of dishes with dan inside, with eggs, right? So what else do we have?
Okay, so if you say fried eggs or scrambled eggs, we can say 炒蛋.
炒蛋.
炒is like stir fried or fried. 炒蛋. Can you think of any other egg dishes?
Not necessarily egg dishes per se, but definitely some dishes with eggs inside. So for example, like cake.
Oh, yeah, right. So cake in Chinese does have the word egg in it. That's 蛋糕.
So that's 蛋糕.
Yeah, 4-1. And 糕 just means cake. So it's like egg cake. So cake.
So when I was a kid, my grandma always did cakes on the weekend. And my favorite one was chocolate cake. How would I say this? Like my favorite cake is chocolate cake.
Ah, so chocolate cake, that's 巧克力蛋糕. 巧克力 is, as you can probably tell, translated from the English chocolate. So you can say 我最喜欢吃巧克力蛋糕. My favorite cake is chocolate cake.
And I could pair this up with any other kind of cake, right? For example, strawberry would be 草莓.
Yeah, 草莓蛋糕. That was my favorite when I was young. So you can say 我最喜欢吃草莓蛋糕. I love to eat the most strawberry cake. Okay, so I have another dessert type that's really, really popular, and I really love this. It's the egg tart.
Wait, how do we say that? It's 蛋 and 塔.
Exactly. 蛋挞. So actually, 塔 sounds like tart. So again, it's the sound translation. And the most popular one that I really love is from Hong Kong, which is from Macau, which is from Portugal. So we call this 葡式蛋挞.
葡式. So 葡 is for...
葡 is short for 葡萄牙, which is Portugal. And then 式 means type or style. So 葡式, Portuguese style, and then 蛋挞. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sentence to bring it all together. 香港的葡式蛋挞很有名.
So Portuguese style egg tart from Hong Kong is very popular.
Exactly. 有名, to have name, which means to be very famous.
Oh, I have another one, which is very common and you literally find it in every restaurant. And the word for it is very pretty too. It's 蛋花汤, which is egg flour soup.
Yeah, so 蛋花汤 or egg flour soup. The reason it's called egg flour is that when you put the egg into the soup before it cooks, you stir it so it scatters. And it's also commonly known as egg drop soup. So you can find that in Chinese menus. And I really love it because it's a very light soup, but you can add different things to it like seaweed or vegetables.
But sometimes when they add like a little bit too much salt or maybe even too much MSG, it gets way too salty. Like that happens quite often actually.
Yeah, so if this bowl of egg drop soup is too salty, I would say, 老板,这碗蛋花汤太咸了. So, oh, sorry, boss. Like this bowl of egg flour soup or egg drop soup, it's just too salty. Okay, so now we're going to move away from the literal meaning of 蛋, actual eggs, to other expressions that use the word 蛋. Now, some of them are insults. I think you might know them already, but I'm going to cover one first. That's not quite an insult, but we can say this colloquially if we messed up or if we're saying, oh no, darn it, I did something wrong. So, for example, if you're about to be late, you can say 完蛋了.
So that's 完蛋了.
2-4. Exactly. And 完蛋, the literal meaning is end eggs. My eggs are done.
My eggs are done, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
I'm done. So if you're about to be late, you can say 完蛋了,我快要迟到了.
And I think we can use this when we are like kind of warning somebody else or like telling somebody else, oh, that's not good, you are done.
Yeah, you're gonna be in trouble, basically. So if you want to say somebody else is gonna be in trouble, they would say 你完蛋了. The context of it would be if you found out someone didn't do their homework or skipped a meeting, sent the wrong email, you'd be like, oh no, you're gonna be in big trouble. So your eggs are gonna be done. And what other words do you know with 蛋 that are actual insults? I'm curious to know which ones you're going to mention.
Well, I think there's like some actually that can be insults or that can be kind of meant cute, right? Depending on your tone and how you say it. For example, like an idiot or a fool would be 笨蛋.
Oh, okay. 笨蛋. So 笨 is fourth tone. And then 蛋 is also fourth tone. And 笨 means stupid. So if you're saying somebody is a dumb egg or a stupid egg, it just means you're saying they're not very bright. And I guess in some contexts it could be endearing because some people find it to be kind of cute and non-threatening. So it depends on how you say it.
I know that you can refer to a bad person as like 坏 蛋.
Ah, yes. 坏 means bad. So a bad egg. Oh, we have that in English too. He's a bad egg.
Oh, we say that in English?
Yeah, he's a bad egg.
Bad egg.
You're a bad egg.
坏蛋.
坏蛋, bad egg. 坏蛋. So you can say 你是大坏蛋.
Like a very bad person.
Very big bad egg.
That's three times the force tone. 大坏蛋.
Yeah, true. Or I think sometimes I would hear parents saying it to kids, like, oh, so-and-so, 他是坏蛋. Don't be his friend. It's kind of, these words sometimes you use in a either mocking way or sort of not so serious way, or kind of like talking to a child sort of way. It's not very serious. Okay, any other word you would like to add to the category of insults?
I think there is one that you should at least passively know, just to know when somebody insults you. Like a very bad one. I actually thought it was cute in the beginning, but apparently it is not. What was it? Like it has 3, like something with king.
I know which one you're going to say. Okay, so this word is 王八蛋. Wang is the word for, it's like the last name Wang. Wang. Okay, ba is the character for 8. Wang ba dan. So this literally translates into the word for describing somebody who was born out of wedlock, which in English, you know, is also not a nice word. Okay, I'm gonna make a sentence using this word. 那个王八蛋撞了我的车.
Okay, so here, if you're in an accident, then of course you have a right to be angry, right? So this was like, that bastard hit my car.
If you hear somebody say it very angrily, and this will happen, you know, if you're running into an accident on the street, you see a very angry person yelling at somebody else, this is something that you will probably hear and maybe try not to say.
Yeah, and just get out of their way. If somebody says that to you, just go away.
Yeah. Okay, so those are a list of a few different insults using the word egg.
So today in our character mind map, we talked about words that all have the character dan inside. And the most original word we had here was the word for egg, like a chicken egg.
鸡蛋.
And we talked about different dishes that all have eggs inside. For example, a cake.
Oh, 蛋糕.
Or fried egg.
炒蛋.
And the very beautiful egg flour soup.
Oh, 蛋花汤.
And then we talked about a little bit of another meaning of dan, which is more like for not necessarily insult, but for negative connotated words. So for example, we had this one thing which is very practical to use when you say like, oh, I'm done, I'm over, oh god, I'm finished, darn.
Oh, 完蛋了.
And then we taught you some words that you should be able to understand. So in case somebody talks to you and is not about food, and he calls you something with dan inside, egg, just make sure you stay away from these people.
Yeah, exactly. And if you know any more of these words, if you look them up or you come across them in your life, you can leave them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll see you next time. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Head over to ChinesePod.com and get access to all the extra features from this lesson. Follow the link below.